Yeah, I don't know. I live in Maui. I produce Brandon Turner's Better Life podcast.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That
So
would
I've
make
been
sense
doing
then.
yeah. So I've been doing real estate for a long time, but I've been doing cameras and set design and lights for almost the same amount of time. So yeah, I this is how I combine the two.
It's badass. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about you. I just saw your post and I forgot what exactly stood out to me, but you were very straightforward. And I was like, you know what? I want to get on a call with this dude. And
I am straightforward.
yeah,
Um well, I'm glad you did. I do this quite a bit and I love it. Generally, I don't have any agenda. Generally, I just try to talk to people and ask them like, "Hey, what do you know, is there any way I can help?" Sometimes there is. Sometimes people just want to chat. Either way is fine. Um, but yeah, I put it out there. I've been doing it on and off for about 5 years, and sometimes it gets too much, and then sometimes I miss it. So I put that link
yeah.
out there, and I've probably talked to like 30 or 40 people now in the last month, and I definitely have missed it. So I'm gonna do more. But yeah, that's the gist. So I have no agenda.
How do you like living in Maui?
It's a wonderful place to visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give that like island fever.
Yeah, a little bit of island fever. Yeah. It's 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 a very isolated place with a small town. So, I can't speak for all of Hawaii, but definitely Maui. There's 22. I'm in a town of 22,000, and it behaves like every other town of 22,000 in the United States. It's a small town, people doing small town stuff.
Yeah, true.
And if you want to go to the
Um,
next town over, you got to go 6.5 hours, and then you get to LA, which somehow might actually be worse.
that's where I'm at. I'm outside LA.
Yeah, yeah.
Live about an
So
hour outside LA.
yeah, so for you, Hawaii is probably you're like, damn, Hawaii's got to be dope. But
I had
almost
the option of getting stationed there. That was my choice, getting stationed in Hawaii or get out the military, and I chose to get out. But I do love Hawaii. I'm going there.
it's a great place to visit. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's messed up. You're like, I'd rather get out of the military than go to Hawaii.
It was a tough choice. What was messed up was I called my assignments dude and told him I was like, "Hey, give me like Fort Irwin or something that nobody wants because I'm gonna get out." And he gave me Hawaii, and then gave the dudes that like he knew were staying in like Fort Bliss. And I was like, "Come on, like, you should have gave one of them Hawaii." But I do have to think about this now for 5 days, and so it made it a tougher decision because I had made up my mind before that.
Yeah. Well, I lived here for a year. Dude, total fluke. That I ended up here, but it's been a wild. Like it's just been such a blessing. Like just a unique life opportunity. And just not something that many people get to say yes to and do. So it's just been a great it's been a great year.
I
Where do you
joined.
live? Or what do you live outside LA? But what do you do? What do you invest in?
I wholesale mostly right now. I wholesaled a lot last year, and that allowed me to quit my job. And now, you heard of White Feather Investments? So White Feather is another veteran-based organization where they teach vets how to invest in real estate. And
Actually, I just recently, I
nah,
think I did hear about this, but I don't know anything about it.
okay, yeah. Well, they run a course called the Real Estate Accelerator, a 6 month course where we teach vets how to invest in real estate. And I just started helping them teach, just because I did really well last year. But their network is small. It was like 300, 400 people. And so I realized I needed to branch out more because I was starting to get more deals than I could pump into White Feather. And so that's when I started joining War Room and ADPI and Seven Figure Flipping. Then I joined all these groups, and I
Oh,
was like, all right, well now what am I supposed to do? Um, and so I've just been like reaching out, trying to meet people at this point.
dude, I love that. That's a really That's a good way to get, to build your distribution or disposition network.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, good for you. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Um, I probably I don't buy single family homes, so I probably can't.
Most people don't once they grow to a certain level, you know.
Yeah,
And I only have two multifamily homes that that I've got, and they're smaller. They're like 16, 18 unit things. Um,
yeah,
but like I said, I wasn't calling to sell you. You just said something that was so abrupt and like it's like yes, I was a JTAC, so I don't know what you did in the military, but I was like I was just so used to being surrounded by dudes and special operators that when I see something like that, I was like, yes, that guy's people I'm used to. Like,
yeah. That's so interesting. Yeah, I was a radio guy, but I was in Third Special Forces Group.
yeah,
So that's so interesting. Like I think about it, like to me, my experience has been like, oh, this is how military guys are. But now I'm like, maybe it's just spec op
no,
guys.
yeah, but that's not people.
Yeah, wow, that's funny. Well,
Did a
now
lot
I'm
of
thinking
work
about
with
it too.
10th
I'm
group.
like,
Those good dudes.
yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, all the guys in War Room that I like, John Lalonde and Matt DeBoth, and a lot of they're all Marine spec op guys, um, recon guys. Like, yeah, that's funny.
They're just no bullshit. You know,
No
I
bullshit.
don't
We
know.
got to get to
So
business.
yeah, that's why I
Yeah,
was like, yeah,
fascinating.
let me connect with this dude because well, I work with military guys a lot, and it's you don't hit that with everybody.
Yeah, fascinating. I don't know. Yeah, I think some of it's too personality type. Although I guess, yeah, I never went to SF. I went and took the test, and I was gonna go, and then like my my unit needed me to go deploy to something, and it ended up supposed to be like a 2 month excursion, turned into a 6 month stupid thing, and then I was just so disillusioned. I'm like, dude, now if I want to go to SF school, I have to reenlist. And I was like, nah, fuck you guys, I'm just gonna get out. Um, but uh, yeah, I don't know. My personality and like, and then I guess that experience just, I don't know. I'm surprised. I don't know why more people aren't like this. Just very direct. It's just so efficient.
You're a brick. Yes.
Yeah, abrupt. Yeah.
Checking out your site here. So you do a lot of photography now, I thought, and your podcast.
Yeah. I've podcasted on and off for the years. I think I'm gonna start making these public because I do these like I probably do 6 or 7 of these a week, and I'm like, dude, this is a daily. This could be a daily show of me. And most people. What's interesting about talking to strangers is like, dude, you just never know what you're gonna get, and it, some people I can help. Some people are like you. They're just like, no, I'm just calling to see what the fuck's going on here, and I like both of those, and I think both of those are valuable anyway. So I might just turn this to a podcast. Like call it a uh, a call-in show, something like that. But anyways,
Yeah.
but I just love talking to folks, and I think there's again for the same reason that being abrupt, I think there's something valuable about just being like, hey, let's just make this. There's no format, there's no editing, it's raw. It's just like here's two people in real estate talking to each other, not about a specific topic, just meeting each other, and I think there's value in that, especially because you can be direct. So I can be like, who are you? Like, why does that work? Instead of me trying to teach somebody something, it's more like just you know find out who you are. But sorry to ramble. Yeah, I got into real estate
You're
and I got
good.
into the cameras at the same time. I never really wanted to be an entrepreneur. Well, I was so pissed off about being stuck in jobs I hated that I was like, I'm gonna buy rental properties and I'm not gonna turn this into a business because I don't want to have another job that I hate. So I was like, I'm gonna buy rentals and I need something to keep me busy so that I don't end up like finding myself obsessed over a business and hiring a bunch of people and then being like, I don't want to do that. Now I have all these employees and golden handcuffs. So I was like, I'm gonna go get a camera. I like my props. So I'm gonna go buy a camera and this is a lot of camera, and there's another one right there looking at me. Yeah, here we are, something like 6, 7, 8 years later, and now I found like really unique and interesting ways to combine cameras and the real estate investing community. So
Okay, you have this set up because you have one of those cameras in front of you,
yeah,
and then that's hooked into your computer, and then the mic as well. And
yeah,
I'm just asking because I'm about to do like a series of podcasts or like be a guest on a bunch of podcasts, and I need to make sure that I have that set up in a decent.
I have a course, and I offer coaching. It's not that expensive. I have a course and I offer coaching if you want help. But this is a good camera, a good lens, a good mic, and lights.
Okay. Yeah.
It is not.
Launching a
This is
book and
art, years of art.
well, I got asked to be on these podcasts, and I realized I was like, well, I don't really have the setup to do that. Like what you're looking at, just my monitor, So I was like, I really need to figure that out before those happen. For at least the
Sure.
virtual ones, because the in-person ones, like I'm going, so it's easy.
Nice, nice, nice. What's your book?
Settled never outworked. It's basically a compilation of stories starting from like when I was a teenager getting arrested through enlisting, going into special operations, and till you know, just to show people like you can do anything. Like it doesn't really matter where you come from. You just have to put in the work. And so I got convinced to put that together a few months ago, and we're just getting ready to publish it on the 14th.
Dude, congratulations. That ain't no joke.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's
It's been
great.
cool. I was never a good sharer, and that really forced me into it.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I love sharing. It's always interesting to meet somebody else, and then you're just like, wow, fucking people are different. Every single one of them. It's
Dude, I was
crazy.
the worst. Like you would ask me a question, and whatever I would answer would be the end of that conversation. Like it would just be so straight to the point. There would be nothing left to talk about after that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are you extroverted or introverted or what?
No, I am introverted, but I think it was and I'm kind of going through this transition of things because I've been super introverted my whole life. I got forced to write this book, or I got convinced to write this book, and then it's opened up opportunities that I've been speaking places now, that it's made me more and more extroverted. Um,
Let
but
me ask you
I'm
this a different
like,
way. Because I love this conversation. Let me ask you this a different way. When you talk to people, does it give you energy or does it drain you from energy?
it gives me energy.
Oh, okay.
Well, it depends on who. I'll tell you that. It's like I'm really enjoying our conversation, but there are some conversations that I just don't want to be in.
Yeah. Like if you have to drag it out of somebody, like you're talking to somebody who's even more introverted and they're like, you got to just, you're working and working and working. I'm like, this is boring.
Not just that, but I think there's two types of people that I really don't enjoy talking to. And one is like those person that are waiting for their turn to talk, and you can tell they're just like wanting something out of you. That really sucks. And then, somebody who comes to me because I teach a lot. So like I have people that come to me all the time and say they want to do this, this, and this, and but then have like all these lists of reasons why they're not doing something. And I'm like, okay, well, why are we having this conversation? Like all you're doing is telling me everything you're not doing or why you can't do something. Like, why are we really having this conversation? And so those two are really draining. But, if I'm just going to make friends and meet people and they don't want anything from me or whatever, it's usually really great. And then I try to bring as much value as possible.
Gotcha. Interesting. Um, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I do have this is why I don't teach, actually. I don't have much interest in teaching because I'm not a good babysitter. And I think a lot of people need babysitting. Not to say that I don't like to bring value to people. I really like to. I can teach in small doses where I'm like, hey, here's something I know. Like I'm happy to do that. But like coaching is very hard for me. I do coach for like this. Like I have a little program where it's like, hey, you know, 4 or 5 weeks we're gonna meet and I'm gonna set you up and you're gonna look world class, and I can do that because there's like an end period. But like,
Yeah.
hey, monthly coaching, I'm like, dude, this sounds like therapy. I don't want to be a therapist for anybody else. I need my own fuck. I just got off the phone with my therapist. That's who I was talking to before this. Like, I don't need a.
Early.
I
Early
don't
with
need
therapy.
a. What's that?
See, early with the therapist. It's like what, 7 a.m. over there?
Yeah, well, you have to out here. Oh, hang on a second. My fucking. Sorry. Sorry. My phone is. My computer's like playing music in my ear. Please stop. um. Yeah, everything here has to happen early because by 3 or 4 p.m. it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast. So.
We were in Hawaii. I
Um.
was closing deals in Florida. I was waking up at like 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind that. When I lived in Vegas, it was like I could wake up. It was like, dude, um, 5, 6 a.m. and it's like, dude, you get on the phone, you start working, and then by the time you get to like work at when I got to work at like 9 a.m., I was like, dude, I actually did all my money making business. Now I can now I can kind of chill. Actually, take a little break. But I definitely don't have I would never write a book called Never Outworked. So you probably outworked me. So. Yeah. But actually, that's where I find a lot of my superpower, I guess. Superpower like this. I'm like, I could probably, and I'm trying to work on it now. I'm like, I just need to fill my calendar up 12 hours a day with having the right conversations.
Yeah, that's the key. Like, I screen people pretty well before I bring them into a small group coaching. The veterans real estate one, I don't really have control over who gets into that because it. But if I'm coaching somebody in a small group or one on one, like I make it very clear to them that I expect a lot because if not, it's just completely.
Yeah. Good news, yeah. The good news is like that stuff works. Like if you tell
Yeah.
people like this is what I demand, like people either step up or they step out. I have a very informal Instagram accountability group for the gym,
Mm.
and it's called "Go to the Gym, You Fucking Loser," and it's like it ain't for everybody.
I wouldn't be.
It ain't for everybody, and also everyone like every couple of weeks I'm like, who hasn't posted in a while? It's time to weed out some weak blood. Like get out, get this isn't a place for lurkers. Get out. So it's for fun. It's not like I don't get paid. There's no money there, so it's just like
Yeah.
it's me being theatrical, but it filters people in a really effective way. My first website the same way. It was called Broke as a Choice, and it's like people are like that's offensive. I'm like, good, beat it,
It's supposed to
beat
be.
it, pal. Yeah, what the heck are you talking about? So it was just a way to make sure people that found me were like, kind of like you said with your thread. You're like, I'm just looking for my people, and so you're like,
Yeah.
oh, whatever that guy said was abrupt. I like that. I'm like, all right, great, we're on the same page. Um, well, let me ask you, how can I help? Like, I know you're just having a chat. Like, who do you need to who do you need to meet in War Room that would uh or like just in life? I mean, I know you said you're looking to expand your network. Like, did you have a reason why?
Yeah, I have so many deals right now that I need to get rid of. Mostly single family, some like duplexes, triplexes. I'm like sitting on 50 homes right now. I need to move. And
What
so
areas? What markets?
mostly St. Louis. I'm in Alabama.
Oh, dude, I know a St. Louis buyer. I can actually introduce you to.
I mean, awesome.
Dude,
We just
actually,
started yesterday pushing this out. It's like Facebook groups and stuff.
dude, let me text you. Yeah, don't tell me your number. It's recording. But like when this thing's done, when this thing's done, we'll stop the recording. You get my number, and I'll text you. I'll introduce you to a guy who they're out here, but they're big. They buy probably 100 homes in St. Louis a year.
All right.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
awesome.
then you send me a fat referral fee.
Deal. Sure.
Yeah,
That's what I was looking for wholesalers for. I was like, look, let me just find other wholesalers and let them tack on a wholesale fee and JV it.
dude, I got you.
Good.
I'm gonna introduce you to a buyer today.
No,
Yeah, this is this is I haven't found a way to monetize it yet because you guys will make a bunch of money and I won't make anything or very little, you know. But this has been my I'm trying to level up in life. I found out, you know, we all have superpowers. I'm a hyper extrovert. I'll talk to people all day, and I'm a super connector. So one of the things I'm trying to do is build out a really I just actually hired a chick. Hopefully it goes as well as I hope. It goes as well as I wanted to. But we're gonna build this big CRM, and I'm a super connector, and so I'm just like, oh, St. Louis wholesalers. I'm like, I want to be able to pull the list up. Luckily, I know the person that I want to introduce you to, and he's here, and he's big, and that just works. But I want to be able to. I'm just super good at connecting people. So, um,
Well, I mean, for us, the way you would monetize that is I would just have a wholesale fee and you would split it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, um, yeah. They're gonna buy if the deals. I mean, I don't know. They buy a lot of deals, so I assume you don't. My guess is you don't want to pay me a lot of wholesale fees. So I have to. I'm trying to think of new ways to like monetize long
Like,
term relationships.
if, like I said, for me, say they buy 100 homes and we say it's $5,000 a home for a wholesale fee. Like, I'll split that all day.
Sure. Yeah.
My problem is not deal inflow. I mean, it's disc flow.
Dude, good for you. Yeah. I'll introduce you to them today. Um, dude, that makes my heart happy. That's why I like doing these things because I don't know, you don't know who's going on. You know, it's so funny because
Yeah.
I talk to so many people and y- there's just there's 70% of people are like there's no fucking deals out there. And I shouldn't say it like that. It's more like there's large swaths of people that are like there's no deals and there's large swaths of people that are like there's no money. And then there's large swaths of people that are like I have money and no deals. And then there's people that are like I have deals and no buyers. And I'm just like I just want to introduce you guys and take 10%.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, right? Like, yeah. So I don't know. That's just where my heart goes is to like, hey, you guys need to know each other. Let me so yeah.
I dig it. Well, I gotta hop off because I gotta take my kids to the dentist appointment. I'm really enjoyed this, so let's keep talking.
Let's stay in touch. Yeah, let me get your I'll stop this recording. Dude, Justin, good to meet you.